Now, teenagers is the time when in Islam you become responsible for what you're doing. You will be punished or rewarded. You pay zakah from the age of 0. When you're born, if you are born and you are really rich, you pay zakah, not you, the one who's in charge of your money. But why you should really listen to advice when you're a teenager? You listen to the video. Why you really need to listen to advice from teachers, parents, governments, educationists.
Help you long term.
Help you long term.
In long term,
Yeah. Any other option? Any other answers? Why you need to really listen to advice? Why you can't say, "Oh, I'm in charge of my body. I can do whatever it is." Body, yeah. It's like girls who say, "Oh, if I want to get pregnant, I'm free." What will you answer these girls who say, "If I want to get pregnant, I'm free. I can't"? What's wrong with getting pregnant
What if you don't want to be
at that teenager? Scary. What's wrong?
You can't take care of the child properly because you can't get a proper education and then you can't really get a job.
Yeah, you need more education. I mentioned the previous class, when my son got married and his wife, they were late 20s actually, and they couldn't cope with the first child. And they phoned us, "Oh, my daughter will not be quiet, keep crying." So we had to go. I had to go from my house to their house and carry her, and she's quiet, just looked after her. And they actually tried to tell teenagers what's wrong with having a baby.
Can you not just put the baby up for adoption?
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. They tried to give teenagers, girls, babies, and tried to get them to quieten. They had extreme difficulty making the child stop crying. In fact, I needed to write a checklist of 19 items when my son got married, when my daughter got married. Check these 19 items before you phone us, before you phone dad and mom. 19 items. Is he wet? Is he hungry? Is he cold? Is he too hot? Is he carried for a long time? Does he need a flat surface to rely on? Does he need comfort? Does he need cuddling? Does he need food, drink, weight, soil, whatever? 19 items to check on the baby before you phone us. So we don't have to ask you, "Have you done this? Have you done that?" Now.
Why would they have a kid if they know that they don't have enough money?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why usually teenagers try to have a child? Why? You tell me.
You tell me.
Why do teenagers get pregnant?
Teenagers get pregnant sometimes because they want to get pregnant or they accidentally get pregnant, but then you can get an abortion if you don't want
No, we're not talking about abortion. Why they get pregnant to start with?
High testosterone and stuff like that.
They have high progesterone, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they have high hormones pushing them. Yeah, there's intense feeling in girls to have babies. That's the intense feeling is created by Allah. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jal wants the people to keep reproducing themselves. But why in this country teenagers try to have babies? Some teenagers. You don't know? We know, because they want to stop going to school. They want to have a flat of their own. Social service give them a flat. They want to leave mom and dad, no more nagging. And they want more money, get money without working from social service. Because either I talk or you talk. So they want social service to give them money without mom, could be single mom. They want a boyfriend to marry them, some of them. They want to not go to university. They want to leave home. There are so many things in their mind. But the things they're lacking is, what's the consequences? What's the consequence? What about if you decided, no, I don't want to have a baby, and you are already carrying a baby? It means that they will have to kill the baby
Yeah.
by abortion.
That's not right.
By how they kill the baby?
Put it for adoption.
I don't know. How they kill the baby?
Abortion.
Abortion,
Miscarriage.
which is haram in Islam, unless you are only allowed to have abortion in Islam if carrying on with the pregnancy will kill mom. So you need to decide whether the mom to die or the baby to die. What do you think?
The woman gets raped. That's a really
Very, very, very good.
Now, if she is, hold on. If she is raped, then it's the authority and the doctors and the religious people decide whether actually to help her carry on with the pregnancy and they take charge of the baby, or they say no, we better get the baby out because of A, B, C. But no one can give a lady a free choice to get rid of the baby, because it's in Islam it's haram to kill a baby. And those the Prophet ﷺ, when he came, one of the reason the Prophet ﷺ came is to stop Arab killing their babies. They used to kill them even alive, bury them alive. So Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ, nobody knows Surah Takwir? Oh dear. وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. The Day of Judgment, the girl who is buried alive will ask, what was my sin to be murdered? So the girls will come the Day of Judgment, or the boys, their abortion, they will ask why I was murdered. What will you answer the boy, the baby? I had a man came to my clinic, he was very depressed. I said, why? He said, oh, my wife is pregnant. So what? He said, I don't have money to look after the baby, I want to kill the baby. You can't kill the baby because you don't have money, because Allah Azza wa Jalla said, نحن نرزقهم وإياكم. Allah will give you more money before you have the baby. Now, you have a question? Yeah?
But it's not considered a baby if it hasn't taken its first breaths outside. So it's not compatible killing it.
Oh my.
When is the baby a baby?
When it comes out of the body,
What is it?
It's gonna transcarry the baby. So it doesn't work. We just go through.
There's two phases. Allah created. Zay?
When the parents do the adhan, that the baby's born.
when
What?
the baby takes its first breath.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
You need. We don't think from the Western point of view. We think from Islamic point of view. The baby is a baby when you have a body, and then the soul came into the body. Allah created Adam, and Adam was there living in paradise for 40 years before Allah Azza wa Jal blew the spirit into him. When he blew the spirit into him, he woke up and he started talking. So Allah Azza wa Jal said to the angels, I will create Adam. When I blow the soul into him, bow down to him. And they all bowed down to Adam except Iblis, who refused. So the baby become a human being when the soul is blown into the body. The body in Islam will be mature as a baby to receive the spirit when he is 120 days in the tummy of his mom. Yeah? So when he's 120 days and he's aborted, you're killing a baby because he has a body and a soul. So the body and the soul make him a man, a child. When he is born, that's a different state. If you kill a child in the tummy of his mom, if somebody was so aggressive to his wife and he killed the baby, if the baby less than 120 days, he hasn't killed a child, he killed a growing fetus. If he killed the baby, which is 120 days old or more, then he killed the baby and he has to pay 1/10 of the diya. The diya, the compensation money, 100 camel for a born child and 10 camels for unborn child. So in Islam, aborting a child who's 120 days or more, it's a killing a baby. If he's less 120 days old in the tummy of his mom, you're killing a prospective baby, could become baby. Now,
So like they asked, if a woman gets raped, if it's before 120 days that she could abort the baby and it will be fine.
that will have to be a decision made by the authority who have the duty to look after all the children, born and unborn. Then they will decide whether actually aborting the baby is a benefit for that girl. In certain areas, in certain situations, it might not be. It might be. It's like if you go now to Japan or South Korea, they can't produce children. So if there's a one who is carrying a baby, you say, please, we'll give you money, whatever, just let the baby grow and born. So we need more babies. It's like in America when Trump came and he said they want more babies, because the number of them, especially in Britain and North Europe and Western Europe, there's less babies born. I told you a few weeks ago that the percentage of babies in Britain dropped below 1.56, which means the white Caucasian Britain are in decline. They're going to extinct. They will disappear because you need 2.12 babies to have a population who would maintain. Is it relevant question?
Yeah. Is it like, isn't it better for the economy though, if you have less babies?
Oh.
Can you stop asking that?
Who will look after? First, the problem in Japan, there's 20% of the population above 80, and they need people to look after them in nursing homes, residential homes. There's no people, no new people. You asked a question, you must listen to the answer. There's no more people born in Japan, South Korea, Scandinavian, to look after the elderly. This is why they had accepted a lot of immigrants. Now they had enough immigrants, they want to stop it. But they accepted immigrants because there's no new babies, no new people. In Dorage, I live in Knoll. In Dorage, the school have no new babies. Bentleys have no new babies. So they came to my son, they said, oh, send your son to the school. He's 3, but they don't have children. So they want to fill the classroom. They reduce the admission rate to 3. So if a lady thought about having a baby, in teenager years, her brain is not mature enough to know the consequences, not mature enough to look after a baby, not mature enough to cope with the demands of another person. She couldn't cope with the demand of her own self. If a man or a boy or a teenager want to have a girlfriend, what's against that? Yeah, you boys, what's against that? One of the problems they have, now in this country it's free to have a girlfriend, but then what's happening? When I was seeing patients in casualty, a lot of boys took overdoses. Why? My girlfriend left me, so what? Oh, I can't cope, I loved her. Okay, but you're a teenager, you can't just even think properly. You cannot, it's as I said, you can't control even your emotion. If somebody snatch your mobile, you start hitting yourself. If your mom didn't buy you the latest gadget, the latest design clothes, you cry. So how are you going to cope with a wife? How are you going to cope with a wife and a baby? A wife and 3 babies, yeah? So this is why in Islam, you have to listen at the teenager years, and you have to acquire knowledge at teenager years. So one of the things Islam puts you in a position you need to pray 5 times a day. Why? As a teenager, you must pray. Yeah. When do you have your mom and dad? When do they have to make you pray? What age? 7. And when do they force you to pray? What age?
9.
10, 11.
9 to 13.
I want one number.
11
years old.
13, lower.
9.
10.
Oh.
10 years old. The Prophet ﷺ said, teach your children to pray when they are 7. force them to pray when they are 10 and make them sleep in separate beds. Why is that? Why you need to pray when you are 10 and you must pray when you are 13, when you're a teenager?
Is it because when they go through puberty, they're accountable for their own actions and not the parents?
Religiously, yeah, you're accountable for your actions or not action. You will be punished for praying, for not praying. You'll be punished for not fasting. You'll be punished for not going to Hajj if you have the Amin. But why, from one video you saw, why you need to pray? Trying to link science to religion, yeah? So it's not haphazardly Allah said pray when you are a teenager. But because your brain is really maturing at teenager years and you need a lot of rest to the brain to keep growing. You don't have to always kill your cells by risky sports, risky environment, risky drink, alcohol or drugs or risky relationship. You pray 5 times a day, you stand before Allah Azza wa Jal, and the most important, your brain will rest. You start thinking about yourself, you're supposed to think about Allah Azza wa Jal. What benefit you get when you pray? Apart from getting your mom and dad off your back and the teachers, and what else you get? Benefits. Most benefits, you might or might not realize it, that you actually calm down. You also start remembering where you left things or you lost things. Your memory will get back to you. Oh yes, I left it in so and so place. And also you get answers to difficulties. You have a homework you can't sort out. Stop, pray 2 rak'ah, and come back. When the Prophet ﷺ had any difficulty to solve, he used to go to Salah. إِذَا حَزَبَهُ أَمْرٌ قَامَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ. You want to, you're stuck with, doing some DIY show work, or you're doing math, or you're doing some scientific things, and you're stuck, you go to pray. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla will give you as a reward an answer to your problem. The prayer itself will improve your memory. Believe it or not. They discovered when you are especially older, if you want to retain a good memory, you do one of things. You learn a new language, and your brain will become more active. Then you gain more memory. Or you learn new skills. When I retired, I did so many courses. Many courses on philosophy. One course from Oxford, one from Harvard, one from New York, and a lot of lectures on philosophy, and it was really brilliant. My memory also improved. I did a course on macroeconomics. That's why I talk about banks and interest and business and things. I learned a course on Usul al-Fiqh. Usul al-Fiqh is the foundation of Islamic religion. How the scholars driven out from the Quran and Sunnah and Ijma', the rules in Islam. How they came to say it's 5 times a day, prayer 5 times a day, Zuhr is 4 rak'ah, and Asr, what do you do, what do you not do? I learned a course on Usul al-Hadith, how Hadith was collected. So the more you learn, the more your brain will be powerful. And the teenager years is the most important years to grow your brain. And many of teenagers are so ignorant about the health of their brain that they lose out. Warren Buffett, anybody knows Warren Buffett? Heard about him? One of the top billionaires, he's 100 plus billions. He was the richest man for quite a while before Elon Musk came and the rest. And he came to talk to teenagers like you, and he said to them, if I give each one of you, before you leave the lecture theater, a brand new Ferrari or brand new Lamborghini, on one condition, that this is the only car you will get in your life.
Yeah.
How would you look after the car?
Clean it.
Clean it, service it, repair it very quickly, drive it responsibly. You don't overdrive, you don't do this. You will look after the car day in, day out. And then he said to them, that's your body. You have only one body. And the body will stay with you till you die. How would you look after your body? Some people ignore cleaning, some people ignore risky things, some people go and drink. There's the Lancet, which is the top medical journal in Britain, published an article in 2018 that if you drink one drop of alcohol, you kill many cells in your brain. So you're lost. As a teenager, you need every brain cell. He said when you don't use the brain cells, the brain ignore it. Then if you try to use it again, it's not there. It's been looked and so. But if you deliberately kill your brain cells by drinking, taking drugs, or taking some funny things and exciting things, or smoking, so you are deliberately damaging the brain and the body, which you have only one of them. You only have one body till you die, so you need to look after. So Islam, subhanAllah, by automatically Allah protected Muslims from damaging their body without the need to know why. Like I mentioned last week, Allah asks us not to eat pork. Probably we'll never know why. But there's a lot of research now showing why and things, and physically or mentally and socially and sexually and behaviorally. But we might not discover all the bad things about it. But Islam banned us from eating a lot of wild animals. You can't eat wild animals. Where the corona came from?
China.
It came from someone who ate bats.
Corona came from eating wrong animals, which Islam banned us from eating it. Now, where have you heard of mad cow disease?
Yeah.
Hold on, Dawood.
Yeah.
Come and sit here.
It came from what, Mark?
What mad cow disease?
The cows eat their own.
The cows
The cows eat their own bones.
ate animals. Yeah, what animals they ate? Yeah? Zaidan. Is it Zaidan? What's your name? Hamza. What animals cow ate to develop mad cow disease? You don't know? They are. Say it loudly, I can't hear. Cows.
We do eat cows.
Beef. Now what they discovered, the cows became mad, and when people ate beef, they became mad. They developed dementia and they died. So they hold on, let me listen. So they went back and chased why the cows became mad, because they were eating the brain of sheep. Sheep have something called scabies, a disease, will not be transmitted to man if you eat sheep. But if you eat cows who ate sheep, you get mad cow disease, you get that disease, the dementia. In Islam, Allah Azza wa Jal banned us from eating animals who eat animals, apart from
Chicken?
Exactly. What if chickens can?
chicken. Don't eat chicken, do they?
Fish.
So fish, apart from fish, why?
Fish don't eat them. They just eat them plants.
Fish eat fish, but we can eat the fish who ate fish. Why?
They don't have mad cow's disease, I don't know.
Because they are
Cold-blooded animals.
cold-blooded
Animals.
animals, which means, Hamza, which means the blood of fish will not carry germs that hit man, because they will die at temperature 37. So Islam bans us from eating animals who eat animals. Like what?
Eagle.
We said apart from fish,
Lion.
lion.
Any wild
But lions eat animals, and cats, and
Dog.
dogs. And you have a question? Let us finish the class.
Let me just ask. No.
Related.
Yeah, but you don't know if the animal's already eaten another animal.
Yeah, here. I'm trying, hold on, I'm trying. She asked me, not you. In Islam, if animals are fed randomly and there's chance they ate rubbish and other animals, you can't eat them. They're called jalala. So what you need to do, if you have chicken who is randomly eating rubbish, worms, whatever, you need to take them in, feed them only plants and grains for 3 days before you eat them. So if you have sheep and the sheep eating other animals or rubbish, they're called jalala, you can't eat. Why is that? Because they might transmit to you diseases. So back to teenagers, you are expected to, it's like here I wrote here, hijab. Why girls are expected to wear hijab? Teenagers, because you're expected to wear hijab from teenager years. Why? Covering the face is not Islamic. Only for the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Covering the face. Hold on. Hello. Covering the face is not Islamic because only for the wives of the Prophet, and it's called hijab. The Prophet Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَخَاطِبُهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ hijab. They should talk to others from behind a screen, a wall. They should not see people, and people should not see them. That's not applicable to Muslims. Applicable only to the wives of the Prophet. So when they want to go from a house on a journey or something, they put the hodaj, which is a small room outside their house. They go inside the hodaj. They take the hodaj to the camel, and they go to the next city. Nobody see them, and they're not supposed to see other people. That's in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ was sitting and with his two wives, and Abdullah ibn Maktoum, Ibn Maktoum came, and he was blind. And the Prophet ﷺ said to them, why don't you go behind the wall? They said, he's blind. He said, are you blind? You are seeing him, you're not supposed to see him, and that's not applicable to you, all the women here, or all the women across the globe, because you can't go out of your house in a box every time you want to go from A to B in a closed room. So the hijab, the face cover, is not from Islam. It's only for the wives of the Prophet. Some women say, oh, we want to copy the wives of the Prophet. We are not expected. You're not. Because Allah said, you are not like other women, and other women are not like you. Because when the Prophet ﷺ died, he said none of his wives allowed to marry anybody. وَلَا تَنْكِحُوا أَزْوَاجَهُ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ أَبَدًا. You cannot marry the wives of the Prophet when he died. So they all remained widowed after he died. So rules on the wives of the Prophets cannot be applied to other women. But a lot of idiots outside there, they tell you, cover your face. Where from? From their jealousy, not from the Islam. Right, so as a teenager, from what you've seen in the video, you are still maturing. It's a chance for your brain cells to connect with each other. It's time to acquire more knowledge, and a time to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, and make use of the salah, make use of the zakah, hajj, whatever, to get better body and better relation with Allah Azza wa Jal.